StockTaker is going for Wolf rather than one of his more reserved Animal Crossing characters.
Yeah, I'm expecting the Wolf pick out of here just because Soan has zero issue with breaking zone with Ike. And just it's so hard. It's not something that you want to deal with as a villager player. And I especially don't think that Isabella has the tools necessary to fight off against Ike, or at least not yet. Although, we'll talk about that if we ever see the villagers versus the Ike. For now, it is Wolf versus Ike, Soan versus StockTaker here in Losers Finals. Once again, this is going to be a best of 5. See who's going to be fighting off against Suarez, who's sitting up at top in Winterside Grands.
Yeah, so it looks like right now the characters we have left in bracket are Ike, Wolf, and Yoshi. Characters in Smash 4 you might not have been prepared to see at the higher ends of brackets. Maybe Yoshi if you live in Long Island, but other than that, you're not going to see Ike. You're sure as hell not going to see Wolf, and you're not going to see Yoshi very much either. So the character diversity that we're already seeing from these Smash Ultimate tournaments is amazing. And with these characters come combos like neutral air into up air.
I know we're going to be saying that a lot, but yo. Like, why?
I mean, like, these characters are mad strong. You were talking about Soan. He said, Ike feels pretty freaking strong, and, you know, that up air. Wow!
Almost got him with the Blaster Gimp. That would have been huge.
But I think now StockTaker knows he has that option for later in the set.
Yeah, I don't expect him to try and, like, fish for it. Otherwise, Soan will catch on very quickly, turn that around on him. And Soan is not the type of player who you want catching on to your habits because he knows that his moves take a little bit to come out. He knows they're going to hit hard into spaces and times as well. If he picks up on a habit, it's much easier for him to throw out those moves.
Yeah, you have to think in general, a character like Ike, he thrives off of knowing exactly where you're going to be. If he can place that up air, if he can place that forward air, if he can place that up tilt exactly where he knows you're going to be positioned, it's so much more dangerous than him trying to go for a read with a laggy attack. And I think that if he does catch on to any of StockTaker's habits, StockTaker is going to have a problem in this loser's final set.
And hunting down with the forward air, so he's going to be able to scoop up on Stock right now. Jared sitting on his last stock for this first game.
Ooh, look at that forward smash for the StockTaker. That's such a strong option we're seeing. Although a spot dodge is going to get around it. Back air. Soan was going for something pretty good.
It just seems so difficult for Soan to get in, and then all of a sudden he lands like 5 hits, and StockTaker is just shredded apart.
Yeah, I feel like that's the life of Ike, where you start by feeling completely oppressed and like you have nothing to do, and then you get like 4 hits and you're like, oh wait, never mind, I'm Ike.
In this house, we like Ike.
In this house, we like Ike. We love Ike.
Like, watching Soan play Ike is always good.
Now here's the thing, right? In this game, a lot we haven't seen any parries, and I wonder if StockTaker is going to catch on to the fact that Soan is using these landing aerials. He's been landing with forward air and nair so much that I think if StockTaker was a little bit more used to the parry mechanic, he would be getting a lot of openings off of those potentially obvious landings like right there.
I think it's a matter of adjustment, just because power shielding is so well ingrained into people's heads. Trying to come up with parrying as a response is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. However, I think we were talking so much about the mechanics of the game that we failed to mention the fact that that was quite the comeback for StockTaker.
Indeed. Not going to count Soan out just yet, though. He's moving us to Pokemon Stadium 2 for Game 2. And we will be definitely... I've got a feeling we're seeing Wolf the whole way through, especially because assuming StockTaker does manage to win this set, he does have to fight off against Suarez. And Suarez is the person who's, like, always been a bane to StockTaker. Not even just Suarez, just Yoshi in general. Just grueling to fight. And at the very least, in this bracket, it was Suarez who sent StockTaker into Lucy's bracket.
Yeah, and StockTaker definitely had a little bit of trouble with his Animal Crossing characters before finding Wolf as a potential option to beat that Yoshi. So I think he is going to stay just to keep himself warm for StockTaker. But that is assuming that he gets through Soan, which, if I had to guess, if you ask Soan, He isn't exactly ready to give up just yet. Look at that forward smash. Proof enough to me that Soan is very much still in this.
Oh, wow! Managing to catch the very end of the Aether with a forward smash. That was amazingly spaced by StockTaker.
That was actually an incredible hit by StockTaker. He realizes that he could potentially either trade or just outright beat the up B, but he has to get immaculate spacing, and you know what? StockTaker, he can do it. Now StockTaker just waiting for Soan to put himself into an awkward position before firing with one of those nairs, one of those forward airs, one of those up airs that Wolf is so used to using. He dips too low for that side B.
And just like that, Soan sitting in a pretty convincing lead, sitting at 71 and counting. The only thing I've noticed about this match in particular that's very different from what we've seen out of Pokemon Stadium earlier in the tournament is that this battle is moving itself towards the platforms and directly beneath the platforms.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that for sure. It makes landing a lot more difficult, so I think both of these characters are trying to avoid getting hit with a landing aerial like forward air from Wolf or neutral air from Ike. However, one thing I would like to note was on that recovery, we saw the laser being used to stuff the quick draw, something that we were talking about earlier in the set. StockTaker keeping in mind and finally using to take out the stock from Soan. Is he going to make the recovery? Yes, he is.
StockTaker is trying to go for the forward smash once again to end him out, but just barely misspacing it. They're able to clip him. And this is becoming a really tight game too all of a sudden.
Yeah, again, StockTaker, who was at quite the deficit, is making the comeback. He's almost there. Oh, but he gets pineappled by Pokemon Stadium.
Yep, that's one of the aspects of this stage that make it a really solid pick into if you know how your opponent's going to be trying to recover.
StockTaker, I think he was trying to avoid that down air or like a runoff back air from Ike, and instead gets himself trapped under the stage, which is not the position you want to be on as Wolf.
Both of these boys smiling it out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, they're still friends. They're still going to play.
They're playing.
Yeah, man.
We've got a whole lot of brackets here at All or Nothing today. And, in fact, for the entire weekend. This is bracket number 3 of, what, 6, not counting Melee?
Let's find out. So, we've got a doubles bracket, 2 singles brackets, and we had Melee happen. Also, it's worth noting, we do have a ladder that's going on. I actually need to catch up on that, see how people are enjoying that. I know, besides the brackets, a lot of people have been playing plenty of friendlies.
It would be interesting, and I don't know who this would go to, but it would be interesting to see a Squad Strike side of it.
That's going to go to me. I actually intend to run Squad Strike later on tonight.
Later on tonight? Oh, then it looks like I'm going to be staying.
I love Squad Strike.
I love Squad Strike too. Here's the problem, though. I would want to commentate it, but I'd also want to enter it.
Same. But that'll be later on tonight. I feel like Squad Strike is going to really thrive as another game mode.
I agree for sure.
We can talk about that later on because I'm super hyped about Squad Strike. But for now, we got Game 3 ahead of us in this Niches Finals. Fountain of Dreams is the pick. Very interesting pick at that, but I feel like at the very least, this stage is going to be a lot better for Wolves to recover on. As we discussed earlier on, the platforms sit the lowest out of any of the viable stages. And also, if necessary, StockTaker can ride the stage upwards for the sake of recovery. However, so can Soan. Yeah,
and it looks like that charged quick draw that Soan was going for actually has a lot more horizontal range than it did in Smash 4. You saw how quickly he got to real deep into the stage.
Yeah, like that fired across. He almost reached the opposite ledge. That was very dangerous. But slows that back air, and so tying things up pretty quickly without taking a lot of percentage.
Yeah, StockTaker, he was going for those lasers at a far distance like he is now. However, when he does one close range, it's a little bit too laggy, and he does get back air to lose that stock. Wow! The timing on that forward smash was crazy.
He took his knees straight out.
Soan was like, I got this, I'm about to recover. StockTaker was like, nope.
That's impressive. All right. StockTaker taking a commanding lead into this game too, but struggling a bit to come off the ledge. So reads options, tries to throw him upwards and covering with the up air. All right.
These two are literally going back and forth, trading neutrals, trading edge guards, trading everything, trading even games up until this point. We are on game 3. This is quite the set so far. StockTaker air dodging out of harm's way. And this is actually the first time that StockTaker has been on his second stock when Soan is on his third. So this does look pretty good for StockTaker. However, he's going to lose that stock to a back air.
Sitting at 75%, this is not a very comfortable percentage for someone sitting in, just because at this point, Stock can handle of stage control very well and can start preparing for setting him for the kill.
Yeah, exactly. Soan and Ike are a pretty heavy character, and so he's not going to die just yet. Although 123, he is in the position where a forward smash is going to kill, especially at the edge. So he's going to have to look out. StockTaker dancing around Soan, but here's the scary thing about Ike. You're sitting at 63%. 1 or 2 more hits do mean your death, and so StockTaker actually does have to watch out. Up air, not going to take it just yet, but we do have lower blast zones than a melee Fountain of Dreams, so it's not going to be too much longer until that kill is going to happen.
It's also worth noting we are looking at Ike with rage, max rage at that. One solid hit from Soan can spell disaster, but he is deep off stage, still able to come up with the Aether and withdraw just to mix it up. All right, he can only stall there for so long.
Oh, that forward tilt might have actually just done it. Ether to ledge. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Not made the down smash.
Coming though, StockTaker trying to play it as safely as he can.
He was actually lucky he got the late hit of that Nair. That would have been a really bad situation for him. That's not going to do it. Back throw. Yes.
Got him. On game 3 is going to go to StockTaker.
StockTaker probably breathing a sigh of relief. You see Soan certainly looks like he was shook. However, I can imagine that neither of these two players are out of the woods just yet. This is a best of 5 because we are sitting in losers.
Looks like they're trying to figure out the stage of choice, the hover over fountain.
So where do you think Ike wants to take a player like StockTaker?
I would say PS2. Smashville's not a bad stage. I feel that PS2 side. The only reason I say that is because it seemed like StockTaker was doing a really good job of being able to get some stage control and dominate the platforms.
Yeah.
We saw that on Pokemon Stadium earlier in the set. We saw that on Fountain of Dreams. And I feel like we may very well see it on Smashville. I love how the platform comes in from set direction, but you actually can't do anything with it.
Yeah, because it doesn't move.
Like, the moving platform was what made me despise this stage.
Really?
Yes. I was never a fan of Smashville.
Yeah, you were saying you weren't a fan of it. Ooh, forward air. Wow, that's just going to kill outright. Soan actually taking that stock with a little, I wouldn't even call it a gimp. It's just, you know, you send Wolf so far off stage, that edge guard means that he just can't do anything.
This is less than 30 seconds, too.
Yeah. Soan is playing to win here. He is sitting on his last game, potentially, of this bracket, so I don't think he wants to lose just yet.
This aerial pressure is definitely cementing that notion.
Yeah, you see StockTaker, he's been liking these reads, not even reads, but these coverage with the forward smash. This time Soan going to edge, perhaps catching on to the fact that StockTaker has been covering his recoveries like that.
It's also worth noting now we're starting to see Soan try to cover whenever StockTaker comes off the ledge with side B.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been much more prepared for being able to fight off against how laggy that move is. And now sitting on clean stocks both sides, but Soan is up the stock. That could be huge for this. And if the momentum of this game 4 continues the way it has, we're very well likely seeing ourselves go to game 5. Yeah, you can be like that too.
Yeah, it looks like StockTaker just took that entire combo. And then once he got hit by the back air, he was like, all right, I'm done with this set.
Yeah.
Or I'm done with this game at least. I'm moving on to the next one in the set. That was a real awkward situation for StockTaker if he didn't want to die to that back air because it just looked like weak DI.
Game 5 of this set is going to take us to Kalos Pokemon League. A really solid choice, I feel. I'm curious if we're going to see StockTaker swap off of Wolf because of how well the stage is built for Villager. It is going to be the Wolf pick. I honestly didn't expect him to switch off of it. but this is going to be really interesting to see. We've seen how platforms have had such a big impact on the reattainment of stage control throughout the set. Now the platforms, this is a very interesting dynamic, I feel, as far as the stage layouts are concerned. These platforms don't really have a big impact.
No, you see StockTaker reeling back in the seat after that.
Oh no. The tilt is strong after that. That's not good at all. StockTaker's in tight lead. But as I was saying, these platforms don't really lend a lot for returning to the stage itself, whereas they give you plenty of options coming off the ledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're placed right above the ledge, and because you now can directional air dodge, you have so many different options of recover to platform, go to stage. Recover to stage, go to stage. Recover to ledge, go to platform, go to stage. You have so many different mix-ups for how to get back onto stage that you just didn't have before. And I think that both of these players are going to try to utilize it on this stage.
He air dodged. Oh, it is looking. He's just not having it.
Yeah, I mean, see, in that position, I almost feel like the SD wasn't surprising because you air dodge because you don't want to get hit by the rest.